Hello, everyone. How are you? I hope you had a great day. Welcome to my channel. So, did you watch the 90 Day Fiancé Quarantine special last night? It's episode 5 in that. Okay. So, I found this one really interesting. It was fascinating to me because a lot of the people that they talk to are in other countries quarantining, and it's just kind of cool to see what those countries are doing as compared to what we're doing. So, first we visit Laura. Now, she says Aladdin used her and her son moved back to Canada. We know that. And she's in Ecuador. She rented a condo there that was pretty reasonable, and it's beautiful on a beach, beautiful scenery, nice home. Her and her dog are living there, and she was missing her family, even though she had made friends there, and wanted to go back. So she got her plane ticket, and lo and behold, what happened. So she couldn't go back, and she says she lost that money, which I would be complaining big time, because you're not the only one. I mean, they need to refund you or reschedule you or do something, but according to her, she lost the money. So she fills her time in by cooking nice meals, and it looks very good that she made some pork thing, I think, or yeah, and some other treats, really nice looking. And she's not too bad off in her home because she still has her purple friend, the other man in their relationship. It kind of blew things, I think. But now they are on a curfew, and 2 p.m. is the curfew. Now, she has a dog, a pretty good-sized one, that she takes for walks. And I'm thinking, this poor dog, it has to stay in from 2 in the afternoon until the following day. I hope she has lots of newspaper or puppy pads, or that dog will probably get sick, or else it's just going everywhere. So she decides then to head back to Canada, or she would like to, and finds out that the Prime Minister there is loaning people money to go home, but they have to hurry. So she gets on this website and she applies, and the very next day, which is a Thursday, the money is there, and she would have to leave on Friday if she can, and all the seats are booked. So now she doesn't know what she's going to do. Well, I would say probably your only option is to stay, because where are you going to go? You're just going to have to wait. So then we visit Dean of Dean and Tariq. And you remember them from Pillow Talk, I think. Tariq was the one actually on the show, and he had met a girl in the Philippines. And I guess they are still together. I don't think they're together in the same country, but they're still a couple. Well, Dean got on a site also, and he found a girl in the Philippines. And he says Tariq isn't happy with the relationship because he was the one ended up moving to the Philippines instead of staying in America. And he says the reasoning behind it, basically, is his military pension, or the money he gets. I don't know if it's a disability or what, but that goes a lot farther there. So it made more sense to move there, where he can live better than he can here. It does make sense. So his girlfriend, like I said, is from the Philippines, and her family has lost a lot of their employment right now because of this. So he's been helping them out with money, and she doesn't like to ask. She gets very quiet after she asks. She doesn't want him to feel like she's using him, which is really nice. But they enjoy their time together, and when they go out, they have to have a mask or they are arrested. And in order to go out at all, they have to get a pass. So I don't know if that means you have to tell them exactly where you're going and what you're getting. I don't know. But that's what they have to do, and they have to leave their ID there while they take their pass and go. So they go out to a store, and the line is crazy long. I mean, It makes Walmart look like a cakewalk, you know? You know, the two cashiers. This line goes zzz, 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 and they're at the end of it. And he looks at all that, looks at her. He's like, we don't need coconut milk that bad. Let's just go home. And so they do. But, you know, his great sense of humor, he's still a hilarious guy. And they kiss wearing their masks. Just kind of cute. And then we have Anna and Marcel, the beekeepers, the bee people. So they are in Nebraska, and so we know pretty much what's going on there. That's where I am too. Yeah, quarantine, homeschooling the kids, and you know, she's having a hard time with that. She says they're not disciplined, and I'm sure they're not, because look at the age span. I mean, she's got what, a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, and a middle schooler and a high schooler. Yeah, that would be rough, okay? But she is also learning Turkish, and he is learning English, and he's driving now, which is really cool. So she decides the kids are looking kind of shaggy, so she's going to try and do home haircuts. So she's got her clippers out, you know, and the little guy was so upset he locked himself in the bathroom. That's how bad it was. But bless her heart for trying, because, you know, she took on a lot there, more than I would have, probably. Not necessarily. I've done home haircuts, yeah. And they look crappy too, but nobody complains, so it's all good. So they go to check on their bees and have a little alone time, because obviously in their house they have 3 kids, and finding any time alone is kind of hard to do. And the bees are doing great, at least. You know, they're doing all right. But she says, you know, right now she had done festivals in the past to sell honey and the Renaissance Fair and fun things like that. And now, you know, they're not happening, so she can't do that. Everything's canceled. But, you know, she's very optimistic and says, well, she's just looking at it as, you know, spending time with the family, getting to know each other better, spending time doing things at home. So, good for her. Now, Avery is working from home, so she doesn't have to go out. She has her own little apartment. Remember, a while back she said that. Her mom, however, is a nurse of some kind, so she is on the front line working in a testing station. So she, of course, is worried about her. And, you know, they've been married over a year. And, she, you know, true to her religion, she's fasting for Ramadan. And, you know, her and Omar FaceTime a couple hours a day and, you know, talk and text the rest of the time. And people in Syria are wearing masks, and the electricity gets shut off at night and sometimes during the day. I don't understand why. Is it to conserve, or they don't have manpower? I don't know. Anyway, he doesn't know when they will get to see each other, because his interview was canceled and they can't go anywhere else right now. So they decide if he's not here in 6 months, they will go to Dubai. And that's providing we can all leave in 6 months, okay? We're jumping the gun here just a tad, you know? There's no promises that we're going to be able to go. Anyway, her dad, no, that's not her stepdad who raised her with her mom and her other siblings. Her dad has been in and out of prison most of her life. So she gives him a call. Omar kind of said, you know, you should reach out to him because he is your dad. Omar lost his father when he was 6 months old. So that's kind of a touchy subject with him. So she does. And while she's talking to him, Omar calls. And so they do a 3-way. And so Omar gets to visit with his father-in-law as well. Now, a lot of places have been letting people out of jails and prisons, you know, to quarantine with their families at home and whatever. It doesn't sound like her dad is in that bracket, though. So I don't know what he may have done or how he ended up with so much time. But that's where he is. But finally, sunset arrives, so she can break her fast. And she has made rice and lamb chops. I don't care for lamb. I love rice, okay? And I guess if you haven't eaten all day, it's probably pretty good. So she breaks her fast and, you know, just just taking life easy. I mean, that's all you can do. Then we have Brett and Dia, and I think she was in Washington State. She's from the Philippines, and I think they live in Washington. And he's getting a taste of being an at-home dad, because they have a little one that's about 2.5. And he was working in the aerospace field, which he is not working right now. She, however, is in the medical field, so she is working. And she works graveyard shift, so she sleeps during the day, and he's, on top of trying to clean the house and look after the child, he's trying to keep things to a dull roar so she can get some rest. So they make brownies for her birthday. And Izzy, the little girl's name. And so they spend a little time together. She can't go to sleep right away when she gets home from work. Nobody can when you work third shift. You have to unwind. And they go for a drive as a family. And, and he says that they're spending more time talking and driving together. And the place that she works at, obviously, is a retirement home. She says the residents aren't having visitors right now. So that's kind of hard on them, too. And he's filed his unemployment, tried to file. Anyway, he had papers to fill out. And he's trying to do that while watching the little girl. And he says, "Can I fill these out?" And she's like, "No." Yeah, got to, honey, got to. All right, so he even tried giving himself a haircut. So he also has his clippers. But he doesn't do all of his hair. He just does the middle, so he looks like a monk or something. Hair on the sides and bald on the top. Dia was not amused. She says it's ridiculous. But you know what? That's what's nice about hair. It does grow out. So like I said, this was a really interesting one. It was really fun to see what other countries are up to and what the couples are doing. And all I can say is thank you for showing up. Please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment if you wish, and I will see you next time. Bye.